Shattering expectations, unlocking potential, succeeding in ways no one thought was possible. I'm not talking about pro athletes. I'm talking about you. I'm fortunate enough to be on top, but anytime you reach the top, you always want to make sure that you have the desire to raise the bar and take the brass ring to places it's never been. That's the key with being on top. Just because it's never been done doesn't mean it can't be done. And in terms of competition, great question. Everyone's my competition, but a fundamental key that I've learned over the years is, and I'll share it with you, my number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you. You reach that point, we all reach that point where we're training, and you break through to the other side. You break down barriers, you bust through ceilings, you knock down doors. That just happened for me. It's very defining, where you had your goals set for months or for years, and you accomplish it. I made a promise to the Fast and Furious franchise, to myself, that for this Hobbs spinoff, the Fast and Furious spinoff with Jason Statham, I was coming to the best shape of my life. And today was a breakthrough day. Look, I've been slinging iron since I was 13, ever since we got kicked off the island of Hawaii for not being able to afford to pay rent while I was crying. I have no place to live. I told myself, shut up, stop crying like a little bitch. Get in the gym and make something of yourself. Great, that's why I need therapy. Break through to that other side. Come on. Today, very intense workout, hardcore, very heavy. Creating and destroying, breaking down and building up that very dense, thick muscle. All this is fake sweat, by the way. I just pour water on my head. I want to share a sentiment with you that I just heard from a very good friend of mine. His name is Phil Heath. A lot of you guys out there know he is the reigning Mr. Olympia heavyweight, and will go down in bodybuilding as one of the greatest of all time, possibly the greatest of all time. We always talk about hunger and how you always want to outwork your competition regardless of how successful you may be lucky enough to be. You want to be hungry. If you know what it's like to be hungry, you'll never be full. He said it's one thing to be hungry, it's another thing when you're starving for greatness and starving for success. And I love that because it immediately clicked. It's in my DNA. I know what it's like to operate every single day, regardless of the success that I've been a lucky son of a bitch to achieve. I operate every day as if I'm starving, so keep starving and keep pouring fake sweat on your body. The first philosophy that I want to share with you guys in our big Forbes takeover is the power of choice. Life is about choices. We're making choices every single day, some big choices, some little choices, but oftentimes it's the big choices that can be scariest because we know the ramifications are hardcore if it goes south and it doesn't work out. So in my case, 10 years ago, I was told if you want to make it in this business, you got to be like Tom Cruise and Will Smith. They're the two biggest movie stars on the planet. And that just didn't sit right with me in my gut. And I thought, well, I can't be like anybody else. I got to be myself. And I made a choice not to be like those guys and be myself. And by the way, there was no blueprint. That's why it was so scary. It's not like, okay, well, here's the blueprint for the half black, half Samoan pro wrestler who was throwing around 300-pound men for a living. 10 years later, things have worked out and I'm enjoying some good success today. But it was the power of that choice that changed my career. The power of the choice to be yourself and be real. So Forbes Takeover, power of choice. Make that choice. We have an anchoring motto, an anchoring saying, which is always be the hardest workers in the room. And it's just a reminder that regardless of how successful we may be or how successful we're not what we want to be, we always want to be the hardest workers in the room. It always leads with hard work. There's no substitution for hard work. Thus, working out at 11 o'clock at night when I know my competition is asleep. All right, guys, the next philosophy and anchor that I want to share with you guys on this big Forbes Takeover Day is the power of teamwork and the importance of surrounding yourself with the right group of hungry individuals. So years ago, I wanted to be more than just an actor for hire. I wanted to be a producer. I wanted to be a good producer. I wanted to learn and understand the producing side of the business. I teamed up with Danny Garcia, who of course brings her brilliant business acumen and invaluable insight to the table. And we formed 7 Bucks Productions. But in order for that to be a successful company, we had to have the right team around us. Sat down with Ari and Manuel at WME, then we hooked up with Brad Slater, our #1 ace, Patrick Weitzel, Jason Otis, the entire company. Since then, with having that team of people around us, 7 Bucks Productions has become a robust company, and we are kicking ass. So if you want to find success and achieve greatness, surround yourself with the right group of people who are hungry, who are willing to work just as hard as you. Forbes Takeover, the power of teamwork. All right, the next philosophy, the next anchor that I want to share with you guys for our big Forbes Takeover today is the power of vision. The importance of having great clarity with that vision, because the more clear that we are with our vision, the greater our chances for success. Now, how it applies to me in my career, about 5-6 years ago, I wanted to come up with a way that bucked the traditional system, and I wanted to connect directly with fans in a real and in an authentic way that just wasn't being done. And I felt social media was that. And I was met with criticism because they were saying, well, listen, there are no more powerful mediums than radio and television. And since then, we've changed the game. And what we're doing right now is become the #1 asset to any marketer, studio, and network. So when we sit in these marketing meetings, the #1 thing is DJ social media. And then radio and television will follow. So sometimes your vision is so big, you don't know how you're going to get there. And that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. Keep that vision clear, your eye on the prize. Power of vision, Forbes Takeover.